Okay, I think I'm live now. I think I'm back. Oh, there's Alice. Thank you, Alice, for coming back. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but I guess our internet went out, and now we're back. So, what we're going to do is we are going to make one of these witch gnomes. How cute is that? And this is from 4 different products from the Dollar Tree. And the first piece is this beware sign that we have, and we just have this sanding block from Harbor Freight, and we're going to use this to get the glitter off. So sorry if this is loud. Oh, and let me pull up mine so I can see everybody's comments. Hi Donna, hi Alice. Okay, so we have this one here. I think it's sanded down as well as it's going to get. And I'm just taking this rag and I'm just wiping it down. Just wiping the extra glitter off of it. And since we're doing the glitter, we might as well get all the other pieces. So we have the feet here on this. So I'm just going to untie my jute on the bottom. Actually, it's on the top, but the bottom of the feet. And I actually found all the pieces yesterday. Yay, Alice. I'm so glad. So are you going to be crafting with me today? I hope so. So we'll set the jute aside and we can use it with another project or whatever. So we only want to use the legs and the shoes on this. So what we're going to do is take an X-Acto knife, just whatever you have that's sharp, and you're just going to go from here to here, here to here, and you're going to score it. So I'm just scoring it there, and then I'm going to flip it over after I get this scored about 4 times. And then I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll be able to break it off. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and there you go. So we have one leg. Now, we don't want to take the glitter off of the shoes. We just want the glitter off of the legs here. And I did cut my sponge a little bit. So I'm just going over the orange leg. I have it done, except the board went to see you do that. All right. Kaylin is watching. Hi, Kaylin. How are you? My baby girl. Hi, Erica. Erica's my daughter, and Kaylin's my granddaughter. And I wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be visiting Erica and Kaylin starting tomorrow, and I'll be back on the 5th of September. So I won't be doing any crafts while I'm at their house. So I'm just wiping this down. I sand the top of this a little bit. And then I'm going to cut the other leg off. That sounds kind of sinister, doesn't it? Cutting the leg off. So again, I'm just scoring it. And you kind of have to do both sides. And then you just bend it off just like that. And then we'll use this some other time probably. Can't say for sure, but. And then again, we're just going to sand off the orange on the leg. And that's just so we don't get glitter everywhere. Does anybody like my new setup with my camera? I know you guys can see the words and everything correctly. So if you like this video, please feel free to sprinkle the love. I would appreciate it. And thank you, Alice and everybody, when you do that. And who else is on here? Have safe travels. Where do they live? Clovis, New Mexico. Yes. Okay, so we got the legs done. And then the other thing, let's see, we got the sign, the legs. I think that is it. Well, no. I'm forgetting one of the most important pieces, the hat. So the hat here, I'm just going to cut the label off. And then they make these now that you just pull it off real easy, just like that. And then of course I got to get the rest of the tape off. So there we have it, and I'm going to sand all of this, and then we're going to use our welcome sign just as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it off, and I'm just pulling the pieces off the back here. Okay. And I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to use my sanding block. And this glitter really makes me mad. I just don't think, though, that the Mod Podge would stay on it as well if we left the glitter as it is. Okay, so I'm going to have to clean this up a little bit. Let me move these out of the way. I don't like all this glitter everywhere, so we're going to paint. So I'm just going to set this aside. And these big old things are what my stencils come in. So they make nice pieces to paint on. So I just have my Anita's all-purpose acrylic paint and an old, well, I'm using this brush here. Using this brush right here. And then I'm just going to brush paint all over it. Now, you don't want to get too much. You can always put more. And then I'm going to do the sides and the bottom and the top. And you only need one coat. That's all I did on the other board. So I'm just going to put a little more down here. And then I want to get the sides of it because they're going to be showing. Okay, I need a little bit more paint on here. Woo! Whoa, that was way too much. Okay, and then I want to get the other side. then I'm going to, whoa, I'm going to smack myself in the face with that. Great idea, says Alice. Thank you, Alice. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do this top part here, and then I'll finish up the end of it. And then we'll set this aside to dry. Now you can still see the details of the wear and all that on here, but that's okay because we're covering up most of it with the gnome himself. So I am just going to take this off of here and put it in the floor for it to dry. Okay, so we are going to work on our broom. Where is my brown? Okay, so I'm using honeycomb, but anyway, again, take your X-Acto knife, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to cut the broom off right here, and right here. And take this hanger off. We're going to use that for our hanger. So take that off and set it aside. And just pull the tag off of it. And this will be our hanger. Okay, so I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and I'm just scoring it. And usually what you can do is bear down on it and see that, well, you got to go to the back side of it too. Okay, see that? So we got that piece loose. Now we want to do the end of it. Again, I'm just scoring it about 3 times, and then I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm scoring it on the back side. Yeah, about 3 times. And then I'm kind of just trying to break it free. And then sometimes what you could do is you can bend it and then cut it too, and it'll break free. So we just have one more piece to cut free. And I'm just doing the same thing with it. 3 scores, flip it over, 3 scores. And there we have our broom. Now, if you wanted to, and I thought about it, you could cut loose this hat and use it for a smaller gnome. So we'll set that aside. And then I'm going to take my sanding block and I'm just going to sand where we cut it loose. I didn't turn my glue gun on. Oh well. So I'm just sanding it where I cut it loose. Okay. Now we're going to paint the handle. And I'm just going to put a little bit of, well, it already has some in the cap. So I'm just going to use what paint I have in the cap. And then I'm going to paint this. So I want this to be my front side there. And I'm just painting the broom handle. Taking it up I'm taking it down to about there. And I'm going to leave the rest of it the way it is. I will paint the sides of the broom. Okay, let me get a little bit more paint in here. Oh, and I'm using Folk Art Honeycomb, but you can use whatever color you want. You know, any brown or actually any color, because broom handles come in all different colors. So it really doesn't matter, just whatever you want to use. I kind of like this honeycomb color. So now I'm just going to paint the edges, which are mostly painted anyway, but the part where I cut it off is not painted. Okay, so this is what we have. And now I am going to put my raffia on it. And I had this here, was from one of those Dollar Tree pumpkins. And you're going to need some of your twine. And so I'm just measuring where it would be from the bottom of the broom portion to the top of the broom portion, like this. And then I'm going to start folding it. So I'm going to fold it that length until I use up the whole piece. So you want your ends down this way, and then I'm just going to tie this on there. So I'm just going to make a loop. I'm going to take it around there, and I'm going to cut this end. You know what? Let's make this a little bit longer. Let's do it about like this. So I'm going to cut this, put the ends through the loop here. Just like this. And then I'm going to tie a knot. Just to keep it together. And then I'm going to cut my loops to my raffia. I'm going to spread them out. And then I'm going to wrap it around my broom handle. So I'm going to do this. Well, actually, I want to do it down here where this would be wrapped, right here. So, taking it around there, and then I'm going to tie a knot in it. And then I'm just going to trim that up. I'm going to spread it out a little bit, and you might need to put a little bit of glue on it to keep it that way. So I think that's what I'll do. Hopefully my glue gun is okay. I'm just putting a drop down just to keep it spread out. Oh, I need some more glue. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little glue down the one side, down the other side, and then well, let me hold this down. It doesn't want to stay. And there, and this needs to be cut. Okay, and then here. So I just put a drop of glue on each piece of the each of these, and then I'm going to cut this a little bit. So this is what we have. All right, so we have our broom ready, and now we want to work on our hat. So I need to get some more of this glitter off of here. All right, let me set my glue gun aside, and then we bring out the Mod Podge. So I need to clean this up a little bit so my lid doesn't stick. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of Mod Podge. Well, you know what? We need to cut our, we need to cut our pattern for our hat. Okay, so I don't have enough of this, so I'm going to use this right here. And this is just some scrapbooking pages that I have, and this has little teeny tiny polka dots on it. So his hat's going to look like that. So I'm turning it over. Well, I need to turn my paper over first, turn my hat over, and then I'm just going to trace around it. So I'm just tracing around the hat, and then we're going to cut this out, and we'll Mod Podge it onto. So I just have it. I don't know if you can see it right there. So I'm just going to cut that out. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to take our sanding block over the edges when we have this glued on there. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm just going to continue cutting around this. Okay, so here we have our hat, and now I'm just going to put glue or put Mod Podge on the back of my paper. And the reason I'm doing it on my paper is because if I do it on the hat, it's going to get a lot of glitter in my Mod Podge cap here. And I need a little bit more. Okay, that was more than a little bit, but that's okay. We'll be using it for his legs. Okay, so I'm just covering this whole piece of paper with the Mod Podge. Just like that. And I'm going to put it, oh, sorry if you can't see that. Put it here on my hat. I'm just trying to line up the edges. Okay, get down here. There we go. I'm just going to press that down. Okay, and we're going to set this aside to dry. Then once it's dried, we're going to take our sanding block and then go over the edges and get these extra edges off. Okay, so now we're going to work on the leg. Now, these are a little more difficult. I had to work on it a bit. So what you want to do is turn your paper over, turn your leg over, and you want to go ahead and do almost the whole leg. I mean, the whole with the shoe and everything, because if you don't, you're going to miss some stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out real quick. And you really don't need the tip here, so you can go up. I started cutting right there. I don't know if you can see it. I know I'm a little far away. Okay, so I have it just like this. And then what I'm going to do is put it on here and then figure out where I need to cut it. So I'm just lifting the bottom part up, making sure my top part is on there correctly, and then I'm just folding it. I'm folding it right there so that none of the sock is showing. And then I'm just going to cut that piece off. And then I'm going to continue doing that until, well, actually, I'm going to lift it up, and then I'm making markings on it as to where the sock is, and then I'll cut that. I think that's the best way to do it. You want all of your shoe showing. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just going to cut this. Let's see how it is. Okay, so there we have it, just like that. And we're going to Mod Podge this on here. So again, I'm just going to put it to the back of the paper. And then I'm going to lay it on my leg. I'm going to make sure it's lined up. I'm just going to press it down. And there we have one leg. So now we're going to work. We'll put that aside and we'll work on the other leg. Again, you want your paper face down and you want your leg face down. And I don't think I sanded off the top of this, so let me do that real quick. So I just sanded that down so it's smooth. And then I'm just going to cut out my leg. Now, I did not go to the store and get one of those beads that have the flat side, so I just have a regular bead, and but I'm going to show you how I made it into a nose. So I just have this bead here. It has a large hole in it. Now I'm not really sure what size it is. It could be a 20 millimeter. And I'm just taking this blue painter's tape and I'm actually just putting it over one of the holes and just putting it up like this. And then I'm going to put hot glue in it. So I'm just going to fill it up with hot glue. And then I'm going to let that dry. And you have to cap it off a couple of times because it sinks down in there. And then we'll just let that dry while we work on our leg. So again, I'm just putting this on here. I'm going to fold this up to where it's at the bottom of the orange part of the leg or the stocking. I'm going to fold it down, crease it, and then I'm going to cut that off. And then I figure out where else I need to cut. So I'm just lifting it up and drawing it. Just drawing it on my paper here. And then hopefully it turns out okay. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. So there we have it. I'm sorry, I got glue hairs on me. And we're going to Mod Podge this down. Make sure the ends are even where they should be. I'm just going to press it down. And there we have the second leg. So we're going to set it aside. Uh-oh, this one's coming up a little bit, so it needs some extra Mod Podge. And it's right there where the glitter is that I didn't get off all the way. Oh, wait, let's see. There's some talk here. Alice Dovey inboxed for me the accurate full reading and guidance. I don't know what that is. I think that person needs to be, I guess we do have a spammer. I'm going to have to see if I can delete them. Oh, let me see. I don't know how to do that. Let's see. I'm sorry, just bear with me for a minute. Let's see if I can, oh, no. I guess I'll have to take care of it later. I don't know how to get rid of them. But yes, Dave, I think you're right. I think we have a spammer. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little extra Mod Podge. Well, no, that one's okay. I thought it was sticking up, but it's okay. All right, so, oh, the hat. So we want to make him a little band that goes around his hat, matching his legs. I'm going to put a little bit more Mod Podge onto the top here. So what we want to do is, since I have these squares, I'm just going to cut some squares that are long enough to go on the brim of his hat. And I think I'll do one. I'm sorry guys about the spammer. That's my first one. I heard other people talk about them. Okay, so I am just going to put Mod Podge this on there. And I'm going to put it on the piece itself. And then I'm just going to put that right there on his hat. And it's okay if it goes over. Like I said, we're going to use our sander to get that off. I'll probably go ahead and snip the biggest part of it here. And then we're going to make him a buckle. So I'm going to do a 4-1, or actually it's a 3-1. So I just have this square here, and I'm going to cut out the center portion, and I want it to show some of the polka dotted area here, which I didn't on my other one, but I do want to do it on this one. So I'm going to cut it bigger than I did the other one, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, I might have to cut it bigger. Okay, nope, that's good. So just like this, and you can see a little bit of the polka dots in there so that it looks like a buckle. And then I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on that. And then line it up where I want it on my hat. And there we have it. Hi Tracy, how are you? Okay, so we have our hat and our legs. This is our beard. So we want to figure out where we want, oh yeah, and I'm going to add a little bit more glue because this settled down in there. So I'm adding a little more blue to our bead. This is going to be his nose. Normally you would just get one of those round beads that don't have holes in it that are flat on one side. So I don't need this piece up here. So I'm taking this, and the way you cut it without making it look terrible is you get the hair out of the way from where you're going to cut it. So you want it this way and this way. So you have that piece right there, and then you're just going to cut it right there. And that way you don't lose as much hair and it doesn't look weird. And then just make sure you pick off the extra fur. And then I'm just going to cut this, do it the same way. So I'm just separating this, and then I'm going to cut that little corner off. Okay, so this is the beard, and if you need to know how big it is, let me get a ruler so I can show you. This piece is about 4.5 inches wide and about 2.5 inches long. Now it does have these edges here hanging down, and the reason that is like that is because I made circles and I made pom-poms for some crochet hats that I had. Okay, so I think the hat's dry enough, and we're just going to take our sanding block. Let me add a little bit more glue to this. So we're going to paint this bead pink. So just taking the sanding block, you're doing a downward motion, and then it'll clean up the edges of your paper. Okay, I don't know if you can see that right there or not. So you just do that all around it. And it kind of just gives the edge to a distressed look. If it doesn't completely come off, you can take your X-Acto knife and scrape it off. Otherwise, you can just leave it as is. If you do it long enough, it should pop that paper, the extra paper off. But like I said, you can take your X-Acto knife and get it off. And you can also do it with your scissors. Okay, there it goes. Just wasn't doing it long enough. Okay, you see how that's coming off? Oh, Georgie is here. Hey, Georgie, how are you? So I'm just cleaning up the gnome hat, getting the extra scrapbook paper off of it. Looking pretty good. Okay, so to get over here on this side, and like I said, you can take your X-Acto knife and kind of help it along. Just be careful that you don't take off the scrapbook paper that's on the front of the hat. Oh, no, there it is coming off. Guess I'm just being too impatient. However, if you don't mind having the extra paper on there, that's fine. Or when you cut it out, if you cut it inside the lines, then it'll probably not be any extra on your hat or your legs. Okay, so there we have the hat. Now we're going to do the legs. I don't think the legs are going to take as long because they're smaller. So I'm also going around it and not just going down. It seems to help a little bit in getting that off. Oh, it's coming. About the time I think I will need to do something else that starts coming off. Okay, really don't have to worry about the top so much because it is going to be up under his beard. So I'm just going to get this extra little piece off of here. Okay, so we got this leg done. We'll do this one. Okay, that one went pretty fast, that side. Let me get this up. I'm going to trim this up a little bit because it's out there pretty far. I can't get to it. There we go. All right. So what's everybody's plans for today? Going anywhere, doing anything, staying at home, crafting? Guess I'll be packing. So I'll be away from my lives until the 5th of September. I'll be back. I'm going to visit my granddaughter and my daughter in Clovis, New Mexico. They're going to be moving to California, so we need to help them out a little bit. All right. Now, I'm going to put my Mod Podge up before it dries out. And there is, okay, here we go. All right, so let's look at our nose. All right, it looks pretty good. So I have the glue in there. I'm going to leave the bottom part on here as I paint it. So I just have this, it's called Indian Rose Apple Barrel acrylic craft paint. Well, it doesn't say it's acrylic, but I'm guessing it is. And I'm just going to pour a little bit in the lid. And I'm going to get me a little brush. And I'm going to paint his nose. So then when that dries, I will finish painting his nose. So I think, maybe I'll just set it right there. Okay. So what is next? Let's see. We need our welcome sign. Okay. We need this. This. We're done with this. Just trying to get some of this stuff out of the way. And we're going to start putting this together. That's the fun part. Okay, let's see if this is dry. Yep, looks like it's dry. So this is our board. It has said beware before. We sanded it down to get most of the glitter off of it. And then we painted it with the black acrylic paint. So I'm going to kind of work. I want to go ahead and put this at the bottom. So I'm just going to put it straight on under the R, well, over top of the E actually. And then I'm using the high heat glue gun. It works better on boards and wood. So I'm just going to put it a line over the E, a line under the E, and a line in the middle of the E and the sides, and then one down the middle. And then I'm going to put this sign on there, trying to get it even. But if it's crooked, I don't think it would matter because this is, you know, a Halloween sign. Excuse me. Gotta get a drink of my coffee. So we have our welcome one there. And then we just want to set this up to see how we want it on the board. I'm not going to glue anything down right now. And I need to cut this a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to have this there. I have the feet up under, and I like to have part of the shoe. I want his whole leg on the board, and I want the tip of the shoe off the board. And then I need my broom. Okay, so it all looks pretty good there, and we're just going to start gluing it down. I think I'm going to move this up a little bit. Move everything up. Okay. So let me move this so you can see. All right. So remember that the tips of the hat are going to be off the board, so you don't want to put glue on those. You want glue all around the rest of it. Okay. And then I'm just going to lay that right there on there. I want the rest of his hat on the board. So I'm going to show you. So I just have this tip and this tip off the board. I want this and the rest of the hat on the board. Okay. So then for his beard, I'm just going to put a line of glue up under the rim of his hat. So I'm going to put it, see where this is right here? There to there. All right. I need another glue stick. So I'm not going all the way to the end of the hat. Okay, now I'm just going to fit this beard up underneath here. And I'm going to press it as close to the hat rim as I can get. And then if we need any on the side here, we can put a little extra glue there. Right there. Okay. And I'm going to see how this is doing. Where's my... Okay, I'm going to finish painting this. Again, if you have that flat bead, please use that. I did not have any more. I only had the one, and I used it on my other gnome. So I did not have it. Okay, so we're going to do the legs now. Again, I want the whole leg on the board with just the tip of the shoe off the board. And I'm going to cut this little tip here off because I don't need that. Let me see how the other side is. Okay. So remember, don't put any glue on the tip of the shoe. Just putting it up around the leg, going down the heel. That's what we have. I'm going to put it up under his beard and just press it down. And we're going to do the other one. Now this one, I'm going to put him even here, or basically even. So his shoes are not going to be exactly even. So one's a little bit higher than the other. So again, I'm not going to put glue on the tip of the shoe. I will put it all over the rest of it. Well, I should have moved that a little bit, but it's okay. It's on there now. So this is what we have so far. And now we're going to glue his beard down. And so you're just going to put glue along the edge of the beard. And actually, before you do that, leave the center undone so you can slip the broom up in there. Okay, so I'm just going to put a string of glue all the way down the handle of the broom, and then I'm going to slide it up underneath his beard. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the broomstick. So I just put glue on each of the 4 pieces of the broomstick itself. And I got lots of glue hairs. Okay, so we're ready for the nose. So this is the nose that we have that we painted. And we're just going to put that right there. I did have another one that I did that's a little bit drier. I'm going to use it. And I'm just going to put it right there in the center of his hat. The center of his, well, it's in the center of his hat, but it's on his beard. So center it under the buckle. But glue it onto the beard. Okay, and then if you want to, like we did the other, like I did the other one, you can put a sunflower in the center or on the side of this hat. So there we go. He's looking good. I think I might put the sunflower on the tip of his hat right there. Kind of like that. So I just cut it off and left a little bit of stem and then pushed it down because I didn't want my sunflower to come apart. And then I'm just going to glue it, put a blob of glue on it, and put it on the end of his hat. So just like that. And then you take the piece that you took off of your wooden wicked word right here that you took off that has the metal ends to it. Just slide a metal in the front to the back. Same way on the other side. And then here you have it. So this is our witch gnome. So we have this one. And then this one. Which one do you like better? They both look pretty much the same. He's just wearing different clothes. Different placement of the sunflower. Okay guys, so let's see. Do we have any hearts or thumbs up for this craft? Would you guys share this craft with others? Would you be making one yourself? Alice, when you make yours, I would like you to post a picture on Liz's craft page so that I can see it. or so that we can all see it. I would love to see what you came up with, what colors you used, and all that. So just remember, I will not be going live again until September the 5th. So until then, you all keep crafting. Bye.